you think this is natural, you're out of your mind. Look at this one right over there. You think that's natural? You don't know what clouds look like. I'm not sure if you can get a good visual on this here, but this is unnatural. There's no way that airplanes can make those kinds of trails. They're all going in this one direction. That's just not a cloud. You know, anyone who thinks that's a cloud, you're just a fucking moron. I'm sorry. I apologize for using that kind of language, but it's just the truth. Have a look at these trails. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this one trail that's being made right now by this tiny airplane up in the sky, right in the center of the screen here, okay? You're going to see that this cloud that he's leaving behind is going to continue to fold into the expanding one, and it'll become a part of it, just expanding its depth. So these are the kinds of unnatural skies that we have in Toronto here. I know a lot of people don't believe this kind of stuff, but you can't really ignore it when I show you this. Have a look at this. Look at the definitions in the division of the sky here. Look at what's going on. Look at these trails everywhere going in exactly one direction. These are the most unnatural skies you'll ever come across. This is in Toronto today. I think it's July 29th. It's about 8:30 in the morning. This is when this happens. Anyone who thinks that this is some kind of natural phenomenon caused by weather is completely wrong. What they're doing is they're shielding the sky here. And they're shielding the sky to reduce the temperatures because they're not interested in signing any kind of climate accords. They feel that they can coat the sky with barium and aluminum, sodiums maybe, and just reduce the temperature so they don't have to. If they were to say that, well, at this point, that, gee, airplanes are changing the weather, we'll be like, oh, that's what it is. Airplanes are changing the weather because of the fuel they consume, and that's just going to be completely natural. There's no way, man. So this is today, a little bit differently, but as you can see over there, that is a symmetrical cloud once again. So that was laid down a little bit earlier today. But that's the general shape. I mean, they're going to have to come up with some workaround on how to explain this out to the public. Whether it's a casualty of the fuels they're using, possibility, or whether it's some benign plan that is coming from on high down to the people, right? I guess I'll have to explain it. So, with that as a preface to the other stuff, right? So here we are once again in Toronto. We're relatively alone, and we're just going to have a look around and see what natural skies look like in the city. Again, I just want to clarify that I don't think that there's any kind of like poisoning going on necessarily, or some type of agent being used to posit a result. But what I am saying is that this is the way clouds look like naturally, and what I've shown you before, or what you've seen together, well, it doesn't really look like that. And what I'm saying is that even if it's jet pollution, it should be checked, because if jets are making that kind of pollution, we need to check that. Or maybe something else. Okay, ciao. So this is another day of sky here in Toronto. As you can see, the cloud patterns, these are natural clouds. You know, this is what we've been used to for our history on this planet here. If you can compare what you're seeing now to what was available in our skies just a few days ago, it would beg your belief that there's not something going on by design or inadvertently that is just not natural.